This is KJ Rashid with CitiTREK-Live. I'm here at the start of the demonstration here in downtown Los Angeles about the murder, and I repeat, the murder of TRAYVON Martin. We're going to go and talk to some of the people and meet some of the people who put this organization and put this demonstration, I should say, together. Just a little bit about the so-called self-defense or stand your ground law in Florida. How does that negate the fact that this man murdered a 17-year-old?
Well, I think that possibly this might contribute to at least adjusting or changing those laws. But I don't think it's much of a law unless it's put to the test. If you're not going to arrest him, it's not put to the test. And this is when family members, concerned peoples might act on their own. That's why we have a justice system, so people don't take it into their own hands, right? So I think shortly we will have a conviction. I believe the district attorney has quit the job. A few other people have lost jobs and so on there. So there's going to be a reaction to where he goes to jail. Now, do I think he can get away with murdering a black young man, defenseless, 140 pounds? My life experience after all these years in this country tells me yes, he can get away. But I want him in jail at the very least. But I believe he can get away with it. I do. I don't believe he can get away. I don't believe it can happen in reverse. Even with that law, I do not believe a black man, 250 pounds, 28 years of age, could shoot a 17-year-old, 140-pound white boy in any one of those states and walk away. I do not believe that.
Therein lies the most profound social axiom I've heard in this case so far.
I do not believe that.
From downtown's most prolific producer, Michael Blaze, Blaze Films. Thank you so much.
Blaze out.
People out here are young people, beautiful young people who, like me, like to wear hoods. Excuse me, what's your name?
Deanna Michael.
Deanna, and my name is KJ Rashid, CitiTREK-L.A. I'm an independent reporter, and I'd like to know, just some opinions of young people about not only the killing, but about the laws that protect them from even being arrested. How do you feel about that?
I feel like that's wrong. You can't go randomly and shoot somebody.
Young people like you, and a lot of the young people I see here, not just black, but brown, Asian, whatever. Young black men and women who might happen to, like myself, decide to wear a hood, out in the rain and go out to get a pack of Skittles. What are your thoughts on the whole mess that caused the injustice that we're all here protesting now?
I think it definitely reflects the conditions that I feel a lot of African Americans and other minorities are under, especially since this is not just a tragedy, it's not just an accident or a one-time thing. This is like representing a lot of the fucking oppression that a lot of people face under the system, and this is something that's happened repeatedly, and it's something very reflective of what is going on. You see, pretty much the systematic assault on colored people, on racial profiling and racism is definitely a part of the system in that aspect. So when I come here, and when I'm here today, and I'm chanting, and I'm listening to people talk, I think it's definitely eye-opening to what this system really means for people and what is needed, especially racism and all that BS, what that is the tools that the system uses.
What is needed here as far as the way the law, say from Florida and 26 other states is written, it's called in Florida, stand your ground. What do you think has to happen so that these laws aren't revised or revise our Constitution in such a way that a person can commit murder and is not arrested? What has to happen in your opinion?
Well, I think it's a bigger picture than what these laws are. I think it really shows what what this is meaning for people. I think people are exploited, and that is a big key factor in why these young kids are getting murdered repeatedly, you know. I think laws, you know, I respect people who really fight against these laws, and I respect that kind of rebellion, but in the long term, the real question is, why are these people getting murdered? And I don't think these laws are really getting to that point where it needs to be. And I think people need to see the broader picture of what is playing into these murders, you know? And I don't think those are just laws. It's something bigger than that. Oh, Ellie.
Ellie, how old are you?
I'm 17.
17?
Yes.
Same age as TRAYVON?
Yes. And I'm lucky to be here.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
I'm good.
Yo, KJ, man, I'm with CitiTREK-L.A. Let me ask you, now,
what's up, man?
A lot of people, you know, are trying to, you know, play devil's advocate, come on TV and say, oh, well, TRAYVON attacked him first. What are your thoughts about that?
Right, play devil's advocate.
Exactly.
All right, here's devil's advocate right here. If I have a gun,
yeah,
and you have a pack of Skittles, if I'm 28,
yeah,
and you're 17, play devil's advocate all you want, but I'm gonna play advocate for common sense. 28-year-old man with a gun, 17-year-old kid without a weapon. No equality, no justice, no peace. See, we can play devil's advocate, we can play it out in all kind of scenarios, but we're always going to be left with 28-year-old man, grown man, with a weapon.
Plus, when you pursue someone else, that nullifies self-defense.
Let me ask,
even if I beat you down, that nullifies by law any right to self-defense.
True that. Let's play devil's advocate. Was TRAYVON Martin pursuing him, or was he pursuing TRAYVON Martin? If you play devil's advocate, if he was pursuing Mr. Zimmerman, would Mr. Zimmerman still be able to kill him and get away with it? No, because why is he pursuing him? Because if the law is, maybe he think he looking suspicious because he walking around with a gun. He's the one walking around the neighborhood with a gun, stalking people. So let's play devil's advocate. Maybe TRAYVON was protecting his community because his mom and his dad live there. So, you know, it's a good question. It's a good little tactic to try to ask the question, but when you play it out, it all comes back to the same thing. George Zimmerman is wrong, and needs to be prosecuted. My name is Pal Shadows, man. I'm an MC, real, you know, progressive activist in my rhymes, and I'm here to support TRAYVON Martin and see prosecution up to execution for George Zimmerman.
Well, we're not, believe me, we're not Fox News. We're in it to win it.
CitiTREK, peace to CitiTREK, yo.
All right.
This is KJ Rashid reporting.